Mhm.
David,
म्यूट करायला पाहिजे ना.
8:25 टायमिंग आहे, अजून व्हायचंय का सुरुवात?
गुड इव्हनिंग एव्हरीबडी. एक 5 मिनिटात सुरू करतोय. अजून एक 4-5 मिनिटं आहेत शिल्लक. एक 5 मिनिटात सुरू करतोय आपण.
अनम्यूट होत नाही माझं. म्यूट कर.
ಹೇಗೆ 10 वेळा
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, so a very warm welcome everyone. Uh, Before we start the session, let me just introduce you to our experts today. Before that, let me tell you something about our company, My Mind Matters. My Mind Matters is a company that provides various psychological services. We offer services like corporate intervention, individual nurturing, behavioral training programs, organizational development, individual development, as well as family coaching, family interpersonal relationships, marital life issues we deal with, personal effectiveness also. In counseling services, we offer family counseling, individual counseling, various psychotherapies, and psychological testing as well. Uh, Dr. Aruna is founder of My Mind Matters. She's one of our panelists today. Dr. Aruna holds doctoral degree in psychology with specialization in parent-child relationship. She has experience of 29 years in the field of psychology. She has worked as school psychologist, counseling psychologist, industrial psychologist, as well as a clinical psychologist. She has been a consultant to over 50 organizations such as Wipro, Cognizant, Amdocs, Fiat India, Sandvik Asia, MCure, etc. She is a certified NLP and hypnotherapy practitioner. She is certified MBTI practitioner as well as a life coach. Um, she was working as a guide and consultant, a consulting psychologist to Police Training Center for Women. She has conducted a lot of workshops and guest lectures regarding psychology, and she was visiting faculty for many prestigious educational institutes of Pune. Um, so yeah, that is about Dr. Aruna. I think we can introduce Bapaya ma'am as she comes. As she's a medical professional, she's stuck in some medical emergency, so she'll be joining us very soon. So yeah, Aruna ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Shreya. Can you make me the host back?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to this session. And I hope your spouses are with you attending this program, because it would be really lovely if they could also attend this program with you to understand the ups and downs that you are either already going through or are likely to go through. So, how many of the spouses have joined us today? Let me see. You can unmute yourself and tell me, or put it in the chat box. How many spouses have joined you? Not joined. Uh-oh. Okay. What about the others? Okay, wonderful. There is one yes at least. Okay, traveling. Okay, fine. So our concern is that when we are going through these changes, it is not just us who gets affected. The entire family does get affected. So it would be wonderful, and their support in this entire journey of menopause would really play a very big role in helping us cope with the entire problem. So it would be really wonderful, even now, if you could quickly get your spouses to sit through the program if they are available, if they are even your sons, if they are grown up enough to understand. It will be really very good if they could all join you. Okay, so let's start. Right at the beginning, I would like to just share something with you. Since tomorrow is Women's Day, wish you all a very happy Women's Day. This was one of the reasons why we are conducting it today. Actually, we were planning to conduct it tomorrow, but tomorrow being a working day and a lot of people may not find it very convenient to attend. So we thought we'll have this program today evening, Sunday being a more convenient day for everyone. So a big hats off, Saganna Motta Salam. Despite failures, you stand up. Despite sorrow, you cheer up. Despite the pain, you keep fighting. Keep dreaming to fly higher, reaching new heights. So wish you all the lovely ladies a very, very happy Women's Day. Right at the beginning, you can let me know what language you will be more comfortable with. तुम्हाला इंग्लिश मध्ये जास्त कम्फर्टेबल आहे का मराठीत करू का कसं का हिंदीत करू we can have a mix of all the three languages. I don't have a problem. Yeah, you will need to help me if there are any messages in the chat box. Please let me know.
Yes, ma'am. Some of them are saying English and Hindi. Some of them are saying Marathi, and many of the people are saying they are okay with any language, but some of them are not Marathi. So I think Hindi and English would be a preferable.
ओके, चालेल. मग आपण शक्यतो वेगवेगळ्या भाषेत करू. मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि सारे अलग अलग लैंग्वेजेस में हम बात कर सकें. There is a request that has come up in the chat box. Please keep yourself on mute. किसी का शायद टीवी ऑन है और उस टीवी की आवाज इसमें आ रही है, तो प्लीज थोड़ा साइलेंट मोड पे रखिए, अपने आप को म्यूट कर लीजिए.
Ma'am, somebody's feedback is here that your volume is pretty low. What about others?
Hello, are you able to hear me better now?
Yes, ma'am. With me, it's absolutely fine.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
ओके, जस्ट अ मिनिट. मला वाटतं काही नवीन जॉईनीज आले आणि दे आर वेटिंग टू जॉईन अस. श्रेया, मला नाही दिसत आहे नवीन जॉईनीज.
Ma'am, can you just make me host back?
हां, एक 2 मिनिटं करते. ॲक्च्युली मला तो फ्लॅश यायला पाहिजे. 10 people आर वेटिंग असा मेसेज येतोय, पण आय एम नॉट बीइंग एबल टू सी देम. ॲडमिट ऑल करायला लागेल ना मला त्यांना, ते नाही दिसत आहे मला. No, the TV is still on. Request all of you to keep yourself on mute, please. Yes, Shreya, I've made you the host.
Okay, ma'am, I'll take care of the joining part.
Yes. Can you start the video then? Because then I will not be able to do it.
Yes, yes.
हम आज की अपने प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत एक अलग तरीके से करना चाहते हैं. एक बेहद सुंदर वीडियो आपको दिखाना चाहते हैं, आपके साथ शेयर करना चाहते हैं. आपको सबको पसंद आएगा, मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है.
अच्छा तो लगता होगा तुम्हें, वरना हर सुबह कोई सबके दिन की तैयारी यूं ही थोड़ी ना शुरू कर देता है।
सुहानी गेट अप बेटा।
I'm just about to leave. Yeah, I'll leave in 5 minutes. By what time? Okay.
मौलिया, ब्रेकफास्ट इज रेडी। मेरा थर्मस दे दो।
खाना कोई कम खा ले तो तुम्हारा पेट जरा कम भरता होगा।
नाश्ता तो करके जाओ। ऑमलेट बोला था तुम्हें धीरज।
कोई तो खुशी मिलती होगी इस रोज के काम को फिर उसी तरह दोहराते हुए। शायद दूसरों की खुशी तुम्हारी खुशी है, लेकिन फिर तुम्हारी परेशानियां उनकी भी तो हैं।
क्यों?
किसने पूछा?
काम है आपका?
तेरे को तो बुलाया नहीं तो पता नहीं बोल क्या रहा है। अरे इसकी बात मत सुनो। Of course.
आप मिलो ना रोशनी से। Mandwa is a horrible place.
पापा it's a really good place. दाल दे। मैं सही बोल रही हूँ। रोशनी
बात सुनना ही मत। हम लोग जाएंगे।
अरे दाल देगा कोई? मेरा मेनोपॉज शुरू हो गया है। Just sit down. दिन भर चिड़चिड़ापन लगा रहता है और गुस्सा आता है और थकी रहती हूँ। तुम लोगों की एक एक चीज का ख्याल रहता है मुझे। किसको ऑमलेट खाना है, किसको कब क्या खाना है, अपने बारे में सोचने का कभी समय ही नहीं मिला मुझे। सोचा ही नहीं कभी। सोचा तुम लोग मेरा परिवार हो, इसलिए बता दूं तुम्हें कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है।
आई एम सॉरी रमा, तुम हमारे लिए इतना कुछ करती हो लेकिन हम लोग तुम्हारी परेशानियां समझ ही नहीं पाए।
मेनोपॉज कोई बीमारी नहीं है, लेकिन सही ध्यान ना रखने पर ये कई बीमारियों को जन्म दे सकती है। इसलिए इसके बारे में खुलकर बात करें और मेनोपॉज की सही जानकारी पाएं, क्योंकि कुछ बातें बोलने पर ही समझ आती है। सो लेट्स टॉक मेनोपॉज।
Should I request you to make me the host back because I will need to share some PPTs with them also.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so sounds very familiar. जो भी हमने वीडियो में देखा ये शायद हमारे घर में हो चुका है या बहुत जल्द होने वाला है। हम सब कभी ना कभी इस दौर से जरूर गुजरेंगे या गुजर चुके हैं। मुश्किल दौर जरूर है, लेकिन इतना खराब भी नहीं है। और मैं कहना चाहूंगी कि आई हैव जस्ट रिसेंटली बीन थ्रू दिस। जस्ट आत्ता काही महिन्यापूर्वी मी या फेजमधनं गेलेली आहे. सो I am talking not only as a psychologist, but I am also sharing as a person who's experienced this. कुछ बातें बदलती जरूर हैं इसमें, लेकिन शायद हम ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि हमारा सेकेंड इनिंग शुरू हो जाता है इसके बाद। नए उत्साह, नए जोश, नए उमंग के साथ हम कुछ अलग करने की सोच रख सकते हैं इसमें। We'll just quickly take a look at the video, at the PPT that I was planning to share with you. We can also call it a phase where I am telling myself me, no pause. मतलब मैं रुकने वाली नहीं हूँ. So what if I am going through this phase of hormonal changes, लेकिन मैं रुकने वाली नहीं हूँ, मैं डरने वाली नहीं हूँ, मैं हटने वाली नहीं हूँ, मैं अलग तरीके से नए उमंग के साथ नई जिंदगी जीने वाली हूँ. So a quick overview. Menopause. Menopause is a Latin word where meno means month and pause means to stop. So monthly cycle basically stops. Like you saw Preeti Zinta talking about it. This phase is neither a disease, nor an illness, nor a pathology, nor a state of being not well, nor a state of being not well, or being very unwell, or ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि हर कोई चिड़चिड़ा रहेगा, हर कोई बहुत दुखी रहेगा. It depends on how you have approached this phase. So actually ये तो एक normal physiological phenomenon है of aging among females, from transition of reproductive life to no more ability to reproduce. हमने ये जानबूझ के एक छोटा सा विजुअल ऐड किया था यहाँ पे कि आई एम जस्ट इन द मिडल ऑफ द मेनोपॉज, कैन आई कॉल यू बैक इन अबाउट 5 years. तो इस लेडी का ऐसा कहना है कि मैं मेनोपॉज में हूँ तो मैं 5 साल बाद आपसे बात करूंगी. लेकिन हम यही कहना चाहते हैं कि ऐसी कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है आपको 5 साल कोई भी चीज आगे धकेलने की या रुकने की या पॉज करने की. इसीलिए हमने अभी 2 मिनट पहले बोला मी नो पॉज. ऐसा हम अलग तरीके का एक नजरिया अपनाएंगे इसके बारे में. So right in the beginning I would like to know from the participants, what do you want to know from this program? थोड़ा कुछ आपने तो सोचा होगा कि कुछ सवाल होंगे आपके जिसका जवाब आपको चाहिए इस प्रोग्राम से. तो some of you can just quickly unmute yourself or put it in the chat box and share with us कि आपको क्या इस प्रोग्राम से चाहिए, आप क्या जानना चाहेंगे इस प्रोग्राम से. यस स्वाति जी.
मैम ये एग्जैक्टली कब सुरू होता है जो 5 years आप कह रहे हैं ते कधीपासून ते कधीपर्यंत साधारण असतं आणि नक्की काय बदल होतात म्हणजे आम्ही प्रिपेअर्ड राहायला हवं.
ओके, सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस एंड लकीली आज हमने इसीलिए ऐसे प्रोग्राम को स्प्लिट किया है कि मैं साइकोलॉजिकल चेंजेस के बारे में बात करूंगी और बापे मैम जो हैं वो फिजियोलॉजिकल फिजिकल उन चेंजेस के बारे में बात करेंगे. तो आपको दोनों की जानकारी अच्छी मिलेगी.
Ma'am, there are a few questions and there are a few expectations in chat box. Someone is saying, do I need to take any calcium or any supplements, and behavioral changes and how to cope with it or how to control those?
Okay. Yes. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the calcium part of it also, and behavioral changes क्या क्या होंगे वो भी हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे. Any other questions?
Yeah, ma'am. Amita ma'am is saying how to tackle with hot flashes and high heartbeats. What lifestyle should be followed during menopause and dealing with menopause emotionally ups and downs. How to control hair fall also.
Okay, just a minute. I have received a call from Mrs. Bape, Dr. Bape. Sure. I'll do that. Yes.
I would request all the participants to please mute themselves.
Okay, I'm so glad Bapai ma'am has just walked in. She's joining us. So we were talking about the physical, psychological changes that you all wanted to know about. So we will quickly touch upon that. And then, like I had told you, Dr. Bapaye will be talking about the physical changes that one goes through. Okay, so some
Yeah,
of
I
the
can
changes.
continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Welcome to the session, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and sorry to be late, but I'm glad I could join. That's important.
Yes, we are glad that you could join. That was more important. So we were just discussing the psychological changes that one is likely to go through. There are some mood changes that are possible, but like I was saying, it is not necessary that everyone may go through the same kind of changes equally. There may be some people who may experience some amount of irritability, feeling of sadness. Sometimes we may feel a little low, lack of motivation. Sometimes we may get angry for no reason and be surprised at ourselves. "Ki, what is this happening to me? Why am I getting so irritated and angry at something?" Sometimes we may also experience problems in focusing, some amount of stress, and some amount of anxiety. However, what we need to remember is, like I have been saying, that the support that you get from your family members around you, the kind of uh, work stress that you are facing, the atmosphere at the workplace, all these things will definitely make a difference. If you have a supportive atmosphere around you, supportive people around you, you will surely be able to sail through the whole thing very comfortably. Uh, Shreya, you wanted to ask us some questions?
Yes, ma'am. Before that, I would like to introduce Dr. Bapaye.
Yes, please.
Dr. Bapaye is an established gynecologist, endoscopist, and obstetrician in active practice since 1996. She is the director of James Hospital and Endoscopy Center, Ashwin Hospital, and James Specialty Clinic for Women in Pune. After completing her MBBS and MD from Vijay Medical College and Sassoon General Hospital, she decided to specialize in laparoscopic surgery. She further she furthered her studies in laparoscopic surgery by attending various training courses in Germany, Denmark, and USA. She was an honorary professor at Department of Physiotherapy, Ferguson College, Pune. She has attended a number of national and international conferences and workshops as faculty. She is actively involved in a number of social and extracurricular activities. Dr. Bapaye has given numerous talks on sex education, feminine health, and other topics to the lay people also. Thank you, Bapaye ma'am, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to hear you.
The pleasure is totally mine. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And I really want to extend my sincere thank you to Dr. Aruna Kulkarni for organizing these kind of webinars, essentially because these topics are so important and very often they go untouched. And it is really, really my pleasure indeed to be a part of this webinar. And I can see that we have a good group of women out here who are very keen to learn about menopause and understand what exactly it is. I'm sorry, because of a patient I could not join on time, but I'm glad that now she's doing good, and I am very happy that I will be able to devote the rest of my time for this particular webinar. So,
Okay, so should we start then?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. My first question is to Aruna ma'am. Ma'am, what is menopause from a psychological perspective?
Yeah, like I had said a little while ago, it's a period of change, but it is, like I said, a second innings, a new beginning. So every change brings in some initial struggle, and it's all right. We can all sail through this struggle of going through the ups and downs. However, very soon we will be out of it with new enthusiasm and new uh, energy. And like I was saying a little while ago, the changes that we go through were those that we read out from the PPT also, the slide also. Most of it is mood swings, irritability, anger. So again, like I was saying, it depends on the kind of support that we have, the way we have approached menopause, whether it is a natural menopause, whether it is a surgical menopause, or whether it has been due to chemotherapy or some other physiological problems that we may be, health issues that we may be facing.
Okay. Bapai ma'am, next question is for you. What is menopause from physiological perspective?
Yeah, so menopause is a condition. Am I audible enough?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So menopause is a condition, is a rather physiological condition, as you rightly said, wherein the women's estrogen content slowly starts depleting. There is a depletion in the number of good quality eggs which are present in the ovary, and as a result of which there is cessation of menses. So when a woman does not have her menstrual cycle for at least 1 year in a row, then we label the woman as having reached menopause. You can do a few blood tests also, the most important of which is the serum FSH level, and a level of more than 40 international units is what is considered as a woman having reached her menopause. The thing is that these physiological changes of menopause start somewhere beyond the age of 42 or 43 in most Indian women. The average Indian age of menopause is 50.1 years, while in the West it can be up to 52 years also. But the depletion of estrogen from our body starts as we cross 40. So some women may experience some changes in this time span, which is called as the perimenopausal time span. And so there are three main changes that can occur in the body. One is going to be the menstrual changes, one is going to be the physical changes, and the third is going to be the psychological changes. The point is that just as a girl, when she comes of age, she undergoes all these changes. But by the time we cross 40, we have forgotten that time era. And that time we are younger, we are entering into a beautiful phase of life. And so probably we can cope up with those changes better. But now here it is on the decline. And that is why, find it a little difficult to cope up with all these changes that we are going to face, okay? So from becoming a caterpillar into a butterfly is a beautiful change, which occurs when you come into adolescence. But from the most beautiful woman and a most sought after lady to enter into, I won't say really old age, but something you're on the decline, your beauty is on the decline now. And so that really hurts. So probably, we feel the need to discuss menopause much more than probably, the need to discuss about entering into adolescence. So this is exactly what is perimenopause and menopause.
Okay. Aruna ma'am, how does the psychosocial history of a woman affects her menopausal symptoms? Does her background, etc., has any effect on menopausal symptoms?
Most of the cases am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, most of the cases that we have been consulting in our clinic, we have realized that if the lady has been having some problems with her in-laws in the house or with her husband in the house or trouble with the children in the house, that automatically then affects her ability to cope with these changes. And that is actually what causes a lot of problems, more than the hormonal changes per se. So yes, the psychosocial history in terms of her relationship and her support system that she has with her friends, if she has a very good friend circle where she can openly share her problems and ups and downs and moods and whatever problems that she's going through, we have found that they are able to cope with this much better. Also, if she has a very, very understanding spouse or understanding in-laws and children, then the lady finds it very easy to go through all this because she is able to open up, she's able to experience whatever is coming to her at that moment, doesn't have to keep suppressing her feelings all the time, and that really leads to a happy experience for her. The transition becomes really very smooth.
Okay. Bape ma'am, how does the physiological history of a woman affects her menopausal symptoms?
Well, to tell you the truth, the physiology is that there is going to be estrogen depletion. We as women have always heard of these two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. So as you approach, I think I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
So as you start approaching menopause, it is mainly the decrease in the level of estrogen in your body, which is going to cause most of the changes. And that is why you undergo, changes in your body, changes in your menstrual cycle, changes in your hair, changes in your skin. How many to attribute to menopause and how many to attribute to aging can be a bit of a question mark. So mainly the urinary complaints and the vasomotor symptoms, as we call it, that means the hot flushes. These are the two symptoms which are 100% because of menopause. The rest of these symptoms can be partially due to aging, partially due to what is the kind of support that you have, partially how you as a person are, how is your emotional makeup. All these things also do definitely matter. Okay. Now there is something called as a premature menopause or a premature ovarian failure. So we know that once the woman crosses 45, her mind is slightly ready, that she's going to approach menopause. Now, unfortunately, there are some women who are born with lesser number of eggs in their ovary. And so she can reach menopause even at the age of 35. Okay. And then imagine her shock and her discomfort when she realizes that at 35, she has reached menopause. So she's going to suffer from the symptoms much more because she's not ready for them. At the same time, if she undergoes a removal of the uterus or along with the removal of both her ovaries, okay, then there is a sudden surgical menopause. Her body is not, and her mind, both are not really ready for the whole thing. And these are the women who are going to suffer probably from more symptoms of menopause. And some women, they really sail through menopause. They say, I was menstruating till last month. From this month, I just didn't get my periods. And lo and behold, I entered menopause and I'm out of it. I didn't even realize when they came and when I'm, settled into menopause. So these are really a few lucky women. But most of the women do suffer from some kind of symptoms of menopause. And that is for sure.
Okay.
I think the participants would like to know that what is it that can we work at preventive level so that we sail through so smoothly like this, I think everyone wants to be the lucky one.
It is like Jaya Angi Mothepana Taya Yatana Kathena. So just as when the woman gets pregnant, okay, it's the most beautiful time of her life. She's going to give birth to a new life, which is like her. So she has to go through pains and she has to, experience those pains to get something in return. So now these are the pains of perimenopause and menopause, which are going to convert you into a free woman. And so you have to bear some pains. So to tell you the truth, yes. How can you sort of decrease these problems? Okay. They are going to be by first and foremost, the right thing that all of you are doing. That is know about menopause. Understand what is menopause. Understand what all can happen and what all cannot happen. So you're sort of ready for the whole thing. Okay. And secondly, if you're going to run for a marathon, you obviously start preparing for it for at least 6 months prior. So even, you here have to start preparing from 40 plus itself. So a regular diet, good exercise and a healthy lifestyle. Probably these are the only 3 things that can help you sail through menopause to a large extent.
मी अजून एक ऍड करेन रेग्युलर चेकअप कारण तुम्ही त्या बाबतीत मला खूप एड्युकेट केलं होतं की रेग्युलर चेकअपला येणं हे खूप गरजेचं असतं.
What is called as a well woman clinic. People in our country do not believe in going to a doctor, leave alone a gynecologist if nothing is happening to them. They say कशाला जायचं, उगाच मला डॉक्टर कुठल्या तरी तपासण्यांमध्ये अडकवतील and I don't want to do all that. I'm just fit and fine and I don't think it's very necessary to go for any kind of checkups per se. But friends, let me tell you, if your doctor, if you visit your doctor every year, maybe at the time of your birthday, your doctor knows your health so well. So she or he can diagnose even small changes in your body and give you small suggestions, simple suggestions, which can help you to cope up with this process of aging and the process of approaching menopause. So getting your breast checked, getting your weight checked, getting your blood pressure checked, getting, knowing how your bones are doing, and knowing how your periods are doing, all these things can really help you to cope up with the approaching menopause. So that's a very good point you brought out, Dr. Aruna, because yes, a well woman clinic for everybody is indeed a must. And I would definitely encourage all you young ladies, you are all young, you're approaching menopause, you're still not menopausal, so you're still young. And even beyond menopause, you continue to remain young in the mind, definitely. So please make sure that you, go to your doctor, have a health checkup every year so that your doctor can guide you and tell you what changes you need to make in your diet, exercise and your menstrual pattern maybe to help you cope up with this problem.
और जब हम वेलनेस की बात कर रहे हैं तो हम दोनों वेलनेस की बात कर रहे हैं, साइकोलॉजिकल एज वेल एज फिजिकल वेलनेस, तो दोनों की तरफ ध्यान देना बहुत ही जरूरी हो जाता है, वरना हम फिजिकली कोप कर सकेंगे लेकिन शायद हमारे मन में कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स रह जाएंगे या कुछ खटास रह जाएगी। दोनों चीजें बहुत ही जरूरी हैं।
Okay, Aruna ma'am, what are the psychological symptoms of menopause?
Psychological symptoms of menopause.
Symptoms, yes.
I think we spoke about it a little while ago कि जब मेनोपॉज आने लगता है तो पहले हमको पता नहीं होता, लेकिन हमारी बॉडी हमको सिग्नल देना शुरू करती है। तो छोटी छोटी बातों पे गुस्सा आना, बहुत होना, या नॉर्मली जो हम खुश रहते थे, एंथुसियास्टिक रहते थे, टॉप ऑफ द वर्ल्ड का जो फीलिंग होता था वो अचानक है और हमको समझ में नहीं आता कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है। और छोटी छोटी बातों पे हमको ये पता होता है कि अदरवाइज मैं शायद इस बात पे गुस्सा नहीं होती, लेकिन आज अचानक मैं बहुत गुस्सा हो गई, मैंने बहुत कुछ कह डाला किसी को। और अकेलेपन का एहसास होना। और सबसे बड़ी बात एक ऐसा होता है कि बच्चे बड़े हो चुके होते हैं, हस्बैंड्स हैव बिकम वेरी बिजी इन देयर ओन करियर एंड ऊपर के पोजीशन पे पहुंच चुके होते हैं, तो वो काफी बिजी हो जाते हैं दिन भर अपने अपने रूटीन में, बड़े हो गए होते हैं, इंडिपेंडेंट हो चुके होते हैं, उनको अब हमारी पहले जैसी जरूरत नहीं होती, उनका खुद का एक विश्व तैयार किया होता है उन्होंने। अचानक हमें ऐसी फीलिंग देने लगता है, स्पेशली इफ आई एम अ हाउसवाइफ, कि अब मुझे मेरी किसी को जरूरत नहीं रही है, और इस बात की शायद तकलीफ हमको शुरू हो जाती है। और ये जो अप्स एंड डाउन शुरू होते हैं, इस फेज में देयर आर चांसेस दैट वी मे स्टार्ट अप्रोचिंग मेनोपॉज psychologically also, besides the physical changes that we are going.
Okay, Bapaya ma'am, what are the physiological symptoms of menopause?
So when menopause is going to affect your everything, right from your skin, your hair, your weight, your figure, your bones, your heart, and obviously your uterus, undoubtedly, and your sex life. So we'll just sort of touch most of the physical changes that are going to occur at menopause. So first and foremost is that your hair starts thinning out. Okay. Is it okay if I speak a few words in Marathi?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So असं वाटतं की माझ्या केसाचा एवढा मोठा शेपटा माझ्या पाठीवर रुळायचा एकेकाळी, आता पाठ मोठी झाली आहे म्हणून शेपटा बारीक दिसतो, का माझी ही रॅटटेल खरंच रॅटटेल झालेली आहे आणि माझे केस इतके चांगले होते ते कुठे निघून गेले हे मला कळलंच नाही आहे. Then what happens is that the angles of your mouth start drooping. You start developing crow feet around your eyes. You start developing what is called as melasma, or some pigmentation of your skin, especially on your cheeks, on your forehead, on your chin. You might start developing a little extra hair growth, especially on the face, on the upper lip, on the chin. These are few of the changes that can occur. Secondly, weight gain can definitely occur. Your fat content of your body can start increasing while the muscle mass starts decreasing. The breasts slowly and steadily start to sag. You'll realize that if you're wearing a 36B size bra all these days, you suddenly have started needing a 38B size bra. And you feel very uncomfortable even in that particular bra. Okay. This is because the fat content on your back has increased. Okay. And at the same time, because the breasts have started sagging to some extent. This can give some pressure on your back also, and so your back also starts hurting. Lower back pain can definitely start. Musculoskeletal problems are a definite reality in perimenopause and menopause. So, some women can develop heel pain and they just don't understand why their heel is hurting. Only one heel starts hurting. And then they think that whether there is excess calcium deposit over there or there's a spur that has developed over there. So many doctors they see and they're unable to cope up with it. Second thing is lower back ache with, what is called as a sciatica kind of pain in the lower back. Okay. All this occurs because of musculoskeletal degeneration changes. Okay. Again, friends, these are quite transient phases. You have to make sure that your vitamin D levels, your B12 levels are under control. And more importantly, that your diet and exercise are in place. Of course, you need to take help from an orthopedic surgeon at these times, but most of the times these problems are self-limiting, and the minute you lose weight, most of these problems are going to settle down. Then your body skin starts developing some kind of wrinkles. All these days you realize that you never required a moisturizer. Your skin was nice and oily, but suddenly now you're going to start needing bottles and bottles of moisturizers, and in spite of all that, the skin feels quite dry. So this is another, these are not very disturbing symptoms. Okay, your belly fat can increase. The hip to waist ratio can change because now your waist waist also broadens and the hips broaden even further because there is more deposition of the fat in the lower part of the hips and waist area. You can get diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, cardiac problems, osteoporosis. All these problems can slowly start entering into your life. Okay. I think we'll probably discuss osteoporosis a little later once again. Okay. Cancers can come, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, other kinds of cancers. All these are more common once you cross menopause. And of course, bleeding problems. These are very, very frequent as far as perimenopause and menopause is concerned. So what happens to the periods? Sometimes they get shortened. Like, you were getting periods every 28 days and suddenly now you get them every 15 days or every 21 days. And in some women, they can get delayed for 1.5 months, 2 months, and when they bleed so profusely. They really bleed very profusely. They have to go to a doctor. And the doctor says there's nothing wrong with your uterus, but the lining has thickened. This is because of hormonal imbalance. Sometimes then your doctor might suggest a curating, that is a DNC. Sometimes they give progesterone hormone because, as we said, these are all because of estrogen hormone changes. So when you don't have good quality eggs left in the ovary, the estrogen has also started decreasing, but the progesterone has become zero. And these irregular and excess bleeding problems are because there is no progesterone also. And so to cope up with these bleeding problems, your doctor might give you some hormonal treatment at the same time. So these are the main problems. And I think I missed out on one very important problem, which is regarding the vasomotor symptoms and the sexual symptoms. So what do we mean by vasomotor symptoms? Okay, I don't know if there are any girls here who are in the, who have reached menopause or are suffering from hot flushes. Okay, maybe in the chat box or in the reaction box, you can just, have a hands up to show us how many suffered from, hormonal change, from these hot flushes. Okay, so these are really, really, really terrible. Okay, what happens is that you're just sitting in a room, you're chatting with your friends, the fan is on and it's not really very hot also, it's not March, it's probably just December or Jan, and suddenly you start feeling oh so hot. Okay, and you break out into a sweat, your face flushes completely, you might develop a few blotches of redness here and there, and you say, "Arey konitari pankha lava, arey konitari AC lava," or you just take out a handkerchief from your purse and you just have to mop yourself dry. And in 30 seconds or 1 minute or sometimes 2 minutes, that hot flush is gone and you start feeling quite cold once again. And imagine when these hot flushes occur at night. That is so, so disturbing. Essentially because you've taken a small blanket and you're asleep. Suddenly you get a hot flush. You just feel like throwing off that blanket. And then after that you start feeling cold. And so again you take a blanket. And half your night goes in this, trying to understand whether you want a blanket or you don't want a blanket. And that causes lack of sleep. So the next day morning when you get up, you are so irritable because you haven't slept well. Irritability of perimenopause, irritability of hormonal imbalance, irritability of sleeplessness, irritability of hot flushes. Oh my God. And one more important problem is obviously the sexual dysfunction that sets in. As our hormones deplete, our libido or our drive or our desire for sex may start decreasing. And what is more important, the vagina starts getting dry. Okay. So all these days, whenever, when you're younger, you realize that you have a nice moist vagina and you enjoy your sex life and you yourself are so keen to have sex. But as menopause approaches or as you cross menopause, the vagina becomes drier and drier. And very often it so happens that you just don't like that intercourse any longer. But your husband, your partner wants it. You don't want it. Again, there is a tussle. You want to satisfy your husband. He is very keen to have sex with you, but you just don't want it from inside because it hurts so badly. So, all the symptoms starts. Sometimes urinary problems set in. Like, you start leaking urine. That means, whenever you cough or whenever you laugh, you have to see drops of urine passing out and you say, oh God, what's this happening? Or sometimes, you shy away from drinking water because the minute the thought of wanting to go to the bathroom comes to your mind, you just can't hold that urine and you just have to rush to the bathroom. And if you don't find one in time, you just might leak bathroom. Oh my God, it is so embarrassing. It is so distressing. If you leak urine in front of your friends or in a gathering, in a group, you are just unable to cope up with that embarrassment and you feel कि इससे बेहतर है मैं जाऊं ही नहीं, मैं ट्रैवल ही नहीं करूं. कोई ट्रिप को जाना है, you say नहीं मैं नहीं जा सकती हूँ. किसी बड़े गैदरिंग में जाना है, you wonder कि अगर मैं यहाँ हंस पड़ी या अगर मैंने कुछ कहा, चीखी और यूरिन लीक हो गई तो मेरे बॉडी को उसकी स्मेल आ जाएगी, किसी को समझ में आएगा. And so you start becoming social recluses. So can you imagine that what all menopause can do to you? And these are really, really disturbing symptoms. And that is why I'm sure that, all these young girls have joined here today to understand how exactly we can move ahead with most of them. So as I said, menopause is going to affect you right from your skin from your hair to your uterus to your genitourinary tract completely.
और इन्हीं मामलों में हमें घर वालों से सपोर्ट मिलना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि यहीं पे लाइक शी सेड कि अभी मुझे गर्मी हो रही है, अभी मैं फैन जोर से चला देती हूँ या एसी ऑन कर लेती हूँ और फिर अचानक मुझे ठंड लगने लगती है, तो घर वाले सब इरिटेट होने लगते हैं हमसे और बोलते हैं तुम चाहती क्या हो, एक बार ऐसा कहती हो एक बार वैसा कहती हो. आणि आपल्याला ते खूप अवघड होऊन जातं समजावून सांगणं की मला खरंच असे अप्स अँड डाऊन्स होत आहेत, मी काय करू. आणि अशा वेळेला जर घरच्यांनी समजून घेतलं की हे नॉर्मल आहे, नॅचरल आहे आणि हे होणारच आहे, तर मग दे विल बी मोर विलिंग टू अकोमोडेट अँड ऍडजस्ट. सिमिलरली अबाउट द सेक्शुअल डिझायर पार्ट ऑफ इट, इफ योर स्पाउस इज एबल टू अंडरस्टँड दिस बेटर, ही विल बी एबल टू हेल्प यू, सपोर्ट यू सो मच बेटर. आणि सर्वात गंमत अशी होते की ऑन वन हँड वी श्युअरली डोंट वॉन्ट दॅट सेक्शुअल ऍक्ट, पण त्यांनी हग नाही केलं, जवळ नाही घेतलं तर त्याचंही वाईट वाटतं. कारण आता आपल्याला अचानक फिलिंग असा यायला लागतो की आता माझी गरज नहीं है कोणाला, मैं कोई मुझे चाहता नहीं है और मैं बहुत अकेली पड़ रही हूँ. तो एक तरफ मुझे एक्चुअल सेक्सुअल डिजायर नहीं है, लेकिन दूसरी तरफ मुझे इस बात की जरूरत होती है कि कोई मुझे पास लेके मुझे हग करे, मुझे प्यार करे, या जस्ट होल्डिंग मी फिजिकली क्लोज, even that becomes a major support for me. It is a very interesting question that had come a little while ago, which was about how is it that our grandmothers handled this, because in those days they did not have any open platform where they could share what they were going through with other people, and probably there was still this family pressure in terms of their mother-in-law being at home, so they couldn't openly talk about it. So that's a very interesting question, yes, and an interesting aspect जो हमें समझना चाहिए. मुझे लगता है कि उन दिनों में उन लेडीज का एक्सेप्टन्स लेवल बहुत ज्यादा था. सहजगत्या या गोष्टी जीवनाचा एक भाग असं म्हणून ते एक्सेप्ट करू शकत होते पटकन. आणि मला वाटतं आजच्यापेक्षा त्यांची तब्येतही जास्त चांगली राहायची तेव्हा. आपला सध्या एक तर थोडंसं आपलं तब्येतीकडे दुर्लक्ष होत आहे, आधीपासूनच रेग्युलर एक्सरसाइजेस होत नाहीयेत आणि अशा अनेक गोष्टींमुळे किंवा लाईफस्टाईल चॅलेंजेस, खाणं पिणं आपलं इतकं चांगलं नसतं, आपण घरी पण मॅनेज करतोय, वर्क फ्रंटवर पण मॅनेज करतोय, या सगळ्या गोष्टी मिळून आपल्याला स्ट्रेसही वाढतोय आणि आपला स्ट्रगलही वाढतो. त्यामुळे कदाचित आपले कोपिंग मेकॅनिझम्स थोडे कमी पडत असावे. बट फॉर देम दिस वॉज प्रॉबब्ली अ व्हेरी व्हेरी simple routine change that they would go through. So they accepted it very quickly, is what I feel.
So just as the last time, Dr. Aruna, I had shared this story. I think I should share it with
Yes,
this
yes.
On this platform again, once again. Is that there is a village in Rajasthan where the women are so very happy when they reach menopause. Essentially because now they can get out of their ghungat. Okay, all these days till they are menstruating, they have to stay inside the ghungat, and they probably remain so frustrated, claustrophobic, they're unable to even take a look at the outside life and the outside world. And now when they reach menopause, they are excited, happy, and absolutely elated, because now that ghungat is no longer coming in the way. It's not a taboo any longer, and they are able to step out and they're going to enjoy life. So each one can look at menopause in a very different manner. If you think that it is decreasing your beauty, decreasing your quality of life, and decreasing your ability to work and things like that, then yes, you are going to be even more depressed because of it. Or as madam said, that you're not being loved, you're not being liked, you're not being wanted, then it's going to cause you to feel more depression. On the other hand, if you look at it at, oh my god, this is a newfound freedom, this is a newfound me that is there now. And sometimes I feel without estrogen, now I'm without any gender. I'm gender free. I don't have estrogen in me, nor do I have a little bit of androgens are there. Maybe that's why I become a little aggressive. But now I'm not really a woman. I'm a human being. I'm a person. And so now let me explore myself as a person, because I have finished my duties as a woman. I have, satisfied my husband. I have raised my children. I've looked after the house. And so as a woman, my duties have been completed. So now just let me live life as a human being, do my, look after my hobbies, look after, nourish the thoughts that I have in my mind, learn my new, whatever I wish to learn, and just live life as a human being. So I think this is quite an important message that I would like to convey to all of you, that what makes us women is our estrogen and progesterone. Now we don't have estrogen. So I'm looking at myself that I'm just a good human being. And the more I become a better human being, be of use to society, be of use to others, and my life is, fulfilled, my life is sorted. And so now start giving to others is what I would definitely want to tell each and every one. And that's, I think, I really benefited from this thought process, because, the minute you accept, okay, now you don't have to attract anybody, you don't have to allure anybody, but now give what you have. So that's how I look at it.
I just wanted to mention here that there were some ladies who were coming to me who were saying that nowadays I am just in this phase of giving back, but giving back in terms of all the nonsense that I've taken from the family members. I'm giving it back so that
that's fine, absolutely. So that's one way of lightening your heart and the burden that you're carrying over here. So another thing I feel is you want to say sorry to somebody, say it off now. You want to thank somebody for what they did to you, thank them now, and get that burden out from here. That's all that I feel.
Yes.
You want to express yourself that you hurt me at that particular moment and I didn't like it. Just say it off and get that conscience clear, because now we can no longer live with that lid on the patila. वो तो नहीं तो उड़ जाएगा. So उससे बेहतर है, let all the steam be released. That is quite necessary, I think.
And I always give this analogy that our mind works like a pressure cooker. When the pressure has really increased and it's almost like time that the cooker will blast, unless you actually allow the whistle to blow, unless you release the steam, there are chances that you may actually blast. So it is very important that time and again we express what we have been suppressing for all these years and get it out of your systems. This is called catharsis in psychology, because it has a lot of importance in the field of psychology. When you express, you feel much better. All that load is off your head and you're able to move ahead again as a normal person. Just two more things that I would like to add here. One, there was one question which was about is it normal to not feel like doing anything in the morning, and is it normal to feel that heaviness? So heaviness part, I think Dr. Pape has already talked about, that there are these physical changes that are happening inside you because of which you feel a little heavy. But yes, because of this discomfort that comes up because of these changes that are happening in your body, you are likely to feel less motivated to get up and do anything. Suddenly you may experience a little bit of stiffness in your body, and you may become uncomfortable with even this. There was this question about, does the sexual desire really decrease or increase? Yes, in some ladies, desire may increase. However, the experience may not be a very pleasant one because of the dryness. which may then put them off completely. They may feel, oh my God, I don't want this kind of a experience again. So there are different ways in case you still have that good desire to continue the relationship. I'm sure Papa ma'am will give you more details about it, but there's nothing wrong in that. You can definitely go ahead, and there are ways in which you can make the whole process more comfortable for yourself.
Yeah. So the thing is that, just the thought that now you're not getting periods at all, and that means you don't have to worry about getting pregnant. Okay. That can, liberate your mind, and that can make you enjoy sex much more. That's a great thing to happen. But as Madam rightly said, the vaginal dryness can really take away the enjoyment. And so then we suggest these lubricating creams and jellies that are easily available in the market. So one is a KY jelly, which is a very good jelly. You just apply it inside the vagina, say 5 to 10 minutes prior to intercourse. There are, Lox 2% jelly, which is a slightly anesthetic kind of jelly also, so you don't feel any kind of pain. And the third are estrogen creams. So these are also very readily available, and your doctor will definitely prescribe it to you if he or she feels that you need to step up to estrogen creams. So one of the times when you usually prescribe estrogen creams is, firstly, if you keep getting recurrent vaginal infections post-menopause. This can happen because the vaginal mucosa, the lining of the vagina, thins out considerably and becomes very prone to infection. So that is one important indication where we give estrogen creams, where you apply estrogen inside the vagina every night. The second is that if, in spite of these routine gels and jellies, you feel a lot of dryness even otherwise, that is also another time when we can give you estrogen creams to be applied inside the vagina. So feel free to talk to your doctor, and he or she will definitely guide you well about these vaginal creams, whether they are just to be lubricating gels or whether they need to be hormonal creams would be a decision of your doctor.
Thank you, Aruna ma'am, and thank you, Bapaya ma'am. Our chat box is flooded with questions, but I have some of my own, so I'll just go through them first. So yes, like you both mentioned that, there are a lot of general appearances, changes in general appearances, like women get wrinkles, hair falls, and everything. So what would be the long-term effects of those? Like maybe self-esteem, lack, lose of self-esteem, or what are the effects of all these changes in general appearances?
Okay, before we move to that, I saw one question, very important one in the chat box, which is related to what you are asking right now, Shreya. So I'll just take that question up quickly. There was somebody who was asking that what if, I think that person has this challenge in her house, that there are only men in her house. She is the only lady in the house. So she's saying, how do I expect them to understand what I'm going through? How will they? And they get very irritated with these changes, that suddenly something different is happening to this lady and suddenly she is behaving very weird. So now what to do with this? How do I handle this? So I am very strongly of the opinion that there is a need to psychoeducate this person and sensitize this person. By psychoeducation, what we mean is that you try to put yourself in that person's position and understand what challenges that person is facing. And on the other hand, you also explain to this person what are the changes that you are going through. Or if need be, you can bring them either to me or to Dr. Bape, and we will help them understand how it means, what it means to go through these ups and downs.
Yeah, so I remember in the last webinar, we had our participants saying that, Madam, you should have one for the men rather than us.
I appeal to all the ladies, that if you have your husbands around, please get them to attend the program.
Right. Because it is they who need to understand these changes and, help their spouses to be able to cope up with these particular problems. And yes, it can be a challenge because few households may be having a very open-minded atmosphere where everything is discussed at the dining table. But yes, most Indian homes may be having this problem wherein women's issues are a taboo, and sex or menstruation or menopause are not discussed as well as they should be really discussed. So I think it is up to us to make a beginning. I think that it is we who are suffering. So it is we who need to come out with these things. maybe this young lady can just, open up the conversation at least with her husband and with her son maybe, and, sensitize them initially if the others are her brothers-in-law or, father-in-law and things like that. So that even if she can find the support of two very important people in her life, it'll help her to cope up with the rest even better. But I also think that this is the time that you need to really decide that my mind matters. So Dr. Aruna, I think that each and every woman has to realize that I cannot tell my patient that I am going through menopause, so I'm going to shout at you. No, I can't say that. And I should not say that. So I need to count from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, and if the need be, from 1 to 1000. I agree that still there may be occasions where I will have a small burst out, but then it's my duty to say sorry. That I'm sorry I said this, okay? Because you can't just keep blaming your hormones. I agree that they are this thing, but now we are adults. We are all mature enough, and we all have to learn to keep our emotions at bay, to some extent at least. So women, let us not just let us look at it as a passing phase. If we make it a mistake, if we shout at somebody unnecessarily, it can be your maid also. Friends, I have fought with my maids, I've fought with my hospital staff, I've fought with my husband, I've fought with my best friends, and with my mom, and have gone and said sorry to them. So, at least let them realize that you have realized that you shouldn't have said that. At least say sorry, but I was having a bad day. I'm sorry, it is probably my perimenopause. I'm sorry, my hormones are troubling me, and I'm taking some advice and treatment from my doctor or from my colleague. The best thing to do at these times would be to say sorry. So, because it is not right. How can we expect, that something simple is going on and suddenly you burst out for no reason? So that other person also has a heart and a mind, no? They cannot keep saying that she's going through menopause. So let us not hide behind this parda of menopause. That they will definitely say. Or many of us are going to be professionals. We cannot get into fights with our professional colleagues. Okay? And if we do by chance, I'm not saying that it will never happen, but at least try to count till 100. Okay? And if you go wrong, if you say something wrong to your partner, your colleague, please say sorry. Please explain, try to explain and try to avoid that happening the next time. Then your spouse will say, yes, she's making an effort. And then he will also come forth more than halfway, so that next time he or he will not, say something that will probably irritate you. So let the effort be from both the sides, please. This is extremely important in my opinion.
And I think what happens is, या सगळ्या गोष्टींचा इतका बाऊ झालेला असतो आपल्या अवतीभोवती की आपल्याला भीती वाटायला लागते की आता मला असं होणार आहे तसं होणार आहे. And that probably also builds up in our mind. उगाचच आपण त्याचंही टेन्शन करून घेतो. I just saw one question a little while ago की वजन वाढतं का? Now I will give you my own example. Bape ma'am had really helped me through the whole process and made sure that I did not put on any weight because she gave me the right guidance. त्यामुळे माझा आणि I underwent a hysterectomy. खूप लवकर 44 years of age मला हिस्टेक्टॉमी करून घ्यावी लागली. आणि त्याच्यानंतर माझे जेमतेम 2-2.5 किलो फार फार तर 3 किलो वाढले असतील. बट विदिन 6 months I was back to my earlier weight again. तर बाय डिफॉल्ट वाढतच असं नाहीये. It all depends on how you take care of yourself also, which will make a big difference to whether you will put on the weight or not.
Perfectly said, madam. So again, this is the same thing that I say, that don't hide behind the name of menopause when you have weight gain. I kept meeting Dr. Aruna on the Tekdi. Okay, she and her family made sure that she exercised well, she ate right, and so she is, she's being able to guide everybody of us over here. Because I think that we try to procrastinate very often. I have thyroid, how will I lose weight? Okay, I have reached menopause, how will I lose weight? But we have to just remember that each one of us is built differently. Some may be on the heavier side, some may be built on the lighter side, okay? But we can at least try to reach an optimum weight, which, we have been. So what is the optimum weight for you? You have to try to reach your weight, which you were at the age of 25, okay? That may or may not be possible. But you remember, at least, were you 60 kg, were you 65 kg, were you 50 kg? Okay, and you can be around about 4 or 5 kgs beyond that. But if you were say 50 kgs when you were 25 and now you are 78 kgs, then no, that is not accepted. That is not acceptable at all. Okay, your body is used to 50 kg. You can come down to 55 or 58 kg, and shedding those 20 kgs is 100% possible. Okay, so I just feel that just because you've reached menopause, don't say now it's okay if I gain weight, now it's okay if I don't look good, now it's okay if I work less. No, it's not okay. It's just a passing phase. You're soon going to be out of it. So let's not hide behind it, and stop leading a meaningful life. That's all that I really feel. Instead you can do better things, because now you're braver, bolder, you have so many experiences behind you, and you're a free person. As I said, you're not a woman any longer. So do what you want.
There are two more questions that have come up. One is, if I have Mirena, then how do I come to know that I'm approaching a menopause? Maybe you can talk about Mirena a little bit, explain to them what it is and why it is used, and answer this question also.
So for the benefit of those who do not know about Mirena, it's a fantastic device that can be inserted inside the uterus for women who suffer from heavy bleeding. In the West, it is used even as a contraceptive device. How we insert a copper T inside the uterus, they insert a Mirena device inside the uterus, which is as a contraceptive. But the difference between copper T and Mirena is that copper T contains copper, while Mirena contains the hormone progesterone. As a result of which, what is the work of the progesterone hormone? It is to thin out the lining of the uterus, and so your blood loss decreases considerably. Many women will feel that I don't want this jhanjhat of periods, otherwise, I'm a high flyer, I need to travel, I need to work very hard, and I do not want this problem of periods at all. Okay, go ahead, get the Mirena inserted. So what this Mirena does is it thins out the lining a lot, so you barely get your periods. You might just get a little bit of spotting off and on, but your ovulatory cycle, that means the formation of the egg inside the ovary, this all continues. Your femininity stays the same, your sex life stays the same, your body stays reasonably the same without the problem of periods. So this young lady seems to be having a Mirena, which is a good thing, which has helped her for her bleeding problems probably. So how will she realize that she has reached menopause or no? First and foremost is that she may experience the symptoms of hot flushes. She may experience, some discomfort in the breast maybe, and she may start developing vaginal dryness. If she doesn't develop anything of this, what she can do is she can test her serum FSH level, okay? And she can do an internal sonography, which will show that the lining has probably thinned out a lot. If the FSH level is beyond 35 or 40, she's almost sure that she has reached menopause, and she can take a chance and get the Mirena device out, okay? But however, if her FSH level is just say 18 or 15 or 20, that means she hasn't really reached menopause, and she needs to keep that device in situ for a longer period of time, or get a new one inserted if the the expiry of a Mirena device is 5 years. So if she's completed 5 years, then she has to remove that device and insert a new one. So these are the usual ways in which we can understand whether you have reached menopause or not reached menopause. I think somebody wants to ask a question. One Swati Bankar.
Yes, ma'am. Should we just do it from the starting, because I have mentioned a few questions, written a few questions by our participants. So first one was, why do women gain weight after menopause?
Yeah, we just discussed, the entire metabolism changes, okay? So the fat content in the body definitely increases, and your muscle mass decreases. So to revert this process, and the second thing that happens is our basal metabolic rate decreases, okay? That means, what is the meaning of BMR? BMR म्हणजे जेव्हा लहान मूल एक पोळी खातं, तेव्हा 1 तासात ते ती पोळी पचवू शकतं, कारण ती इतके पळतात, इतके धावतात, इतके गडबडी करत असतात सारख्या. पण तुम्ही आणि मी सध्या काय करतो? आपण म्हणतो आपल्या मुलीला, ए अस्मिता मला एक ग्लास पाणी दे ग, किंवा तुमची मेड आहे, तिला म्हणते अगं जरा त्या कोपऱ्यातनं झाडून घे बरं, ओके? And we are probably leading a reasonably sedentary lifestyle, as a result of which our basal metabolic rate has gone down. And so if you eat one pori, okay, which otherwise would have taken say 2 hours to get digested or whatever, now it takes longer to get metabolized, okay? And if we continue to eat the same amount of food which we were eating when we were 35 or 40 even today, then that's not right, because our activity level has gone quite down. We don't need so much food any longer. Maybe many of you must have even started realizing that you cannot enjoy the entire meal. You feel you want to just eat a little bit. But if you don't change in time and you really continue to eat the same amount of food as you were always eating, then definitely there is going to be weight gain. We have to realize that आता आपला वानप्रस्थाश्रम सुरू झालेला आहे. वानप्रस्थाश्रमामध्ये पूर्वी लोक काय करायचे, त्यांचे संसार सोडायचे आणि वनामध्ये जायचे, आणि वनामध्ये ते काय खायचे, तर कंदमुळं खायचे. आणि कंदमुळं म्हणजे काय आहे, तर अनकुक्ड रॉ फूड, ओके, which will and which will be good for your tummy, which and all these things. So friends, change now. Decrease the amount of cooked food that you eat. Decrease the amount of carbohydrates that you eat. Have an egg per day if it is possible for you. Have a lot of dahi, doodh, tak. Okay, that too, cows possible. Big in your kitchen, or at least see, and will realize you have to use less sugar. They will also have healthier lifestyle. And you need to realize that just you will say कि मी रोज 1 तास व्यायाम करते पण तरी माझं वजन वाढते. What do you do the remaining 23 hours? That is also very important. Are we being a couch potato? Are we just sitting in front of the computer because of our work pressures? Okay, we need to think what we do for the remaining 23 hours of our life also. So try to maintain an active life. Decrease your sedentariness. All these things can definitely help you to keep your weight under control. Okay, so this yeah.
I have some ladies who have come to me asking, but मला भूक लागते ना, मग मी काय करू, कसं कमी खाणार? So
कंदमुळं खायची.
ऑफ हॅबिट, ती बॉडी क्लॉक तुमचा तो सेट झालेला असतो की अमक्या वेळेला तुम्हाला भूक लागते आणि मग आपण तेव्हा काहीतरी पटकन तोंडात घालतो. आणि फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ द फूड दॅट वी हॅव इज ऑल्सो व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट अलॉंग विथ द क्वालिटी ऑफ द फूड ऑल्सो. आणि ती सवय लागलेली असते आपल्याला तोंडात काहीतरी सतत टाकत राहायची. समटाइम्स फूड ऑल्सो बिकम्स अ वे ऑफ स्ट्रेस मॅनेजमेंट.
येस, व्हेरी वेल.
तरी आपण खाण्याकडे माझा स्ट्रेस कमी, मग चॉकलेट्स खातो किंवा इतर गोष्टी की आता ह्याच्या पुढे मला खायला मिळणार नाहीये म्हणून मी आताच खाऊन घेते म्हणत म्हणत आपल्याला ती सवय लागते आणि स्ट्रेस कमी झाल्यासारखं वाटतं आपल्याला की खाल्ल्यावर मला बरं वाटतं, खाल्ल्यावर मला बरं वाटतं. आणि ह्याच्यामुळे ऍक्च्युली ती सवय लागलेली असते. अँड वी नीड टू नाव स्टार्ट अनलर्निंग अँड रीलर्निंग. ही सवय आता मोडून नव्याने आपल्याला वेगळ्या पद्धतीची सवय, जसं मॅम म्हणल्या की सूप, सॅलड्स किंवा पालेभाज्या वाढवणं, एकूणच कार्बोहायड्रेट कमी करून प्रोटीन आपल्याकडे उसळ, म्हणजे जर तुम्ही हे असाल व्हेजिटेरियन असाल तर उसळ वगैरे जास्त खाऊ शकता, स्प्राउट्स खाऊ शकता. ऑल दीज थिंग्स विल रिअली हेल्प यू कंट्रोल युअर वेट अँड ब्रिंग डाऊन युअर वेट and help maintain whatever muscle mass is left of it in the body.
Okay, so next question is how to tackle the pigmentation problem on face.
If I knew, I too wouldn't have had any pigmentation on mine. But there are 2-3 things. One is that you have to use it is just the melanin pigment which is increasing now, but you have to avoid going in the direct sunlight. Try to wear a cap or cover your face, as many of our women do when they go on their two-wheelers. Secondly, a good sunscreen is compulsory. Even if you're at home or if you're outside, you have to use a good sunscreen undoubtedly. Okay. And the third thing, like what I've heard and I probably will be going to, is that Kaya Skin Clinic has got good chemical peels. Okay. Please take the help of a beautician. Please take the help of a cosmetic surgeon. Please take the help of your beauty parlors, and you must keep looking good, because that will increase your self-esteem, that will increase your positivity, that will increase your improve your outlook towards life, and you must feel great when you look at yourself in the mirror. So do color your hair, do take any whatever treatment you want, maybe a hair spa or a head massage or a body massages. Body massages also help to keep the skin and the muscles a little supple, provided you exercise. Only massages are going to help. Okay. And go to good places. Today you have many cosmetic centers available. Make sure that you research on them well. Make sure that you go with a reference. Make sure if you go to a doctor, that is even greater, because they know their job better. And there are many fantastic methods to make your skin glow. Of course, it is not permanent. जसं आपण पेंटिंगच्या वेळेला तर जुनं घर झालंय, ओके, तर लांबी पलटी भरायला लागते की नाही, पेंटिंगच्या आधी. ओके, आणि तरी पण थोडं जुनं दिसणारच घर. ओके, ते काही नवीन बांधलेल्या घरासारखं तर दिसू नाही शकणार, पण थोडंसं लांबी पलटी भरली, थोडंसं रंगकाम केलं की जास्त छान दिसतो आपण, आणि मग कुणालाही रंगवलेलं गोष्ट आवडते जास्तीत छान. So please take the help of a good beautician, and especially if you can afford it, undoubtedly color your hair if you like it, or go gray, go salt and pepper, whatever you like. But make sure that you are comfortable in your own skin. Somebody may want to do plastic surgery. Somebody may feel like getting a boob job done. They want to lift up their breast, because lifting up the breast really reduces your age by 5-10 years. Somebody might want liposuction. Okay, go ahead. Understand the pros and cons of it, and then only go ahead with it. Don't go blindly into something just because your friend has done it or you've heard about it. Get a proper consultation, and if you feel yes, you want to do it because it's going to increase your self-esteem immensely, please go ahead and do it. This is what I would surely say.
Okay, ma'am, there's
important things. Just a minute, Shreya. Two
Yeah.
important things are drink lots of water during
Oh,
this
that's
phase.
it. Yes, yes.
It is very important. आणि दुसरं म्हणजे ना, yoga really helps you a lot.
Oh, that is so well said.
Somebody had asked this question in the chat box also, की कुठल्या प्रकारचे एक्सरसाइजेस करायचे. सो मॅम जसं म्हटलं की मी टेकडीला जात होते रेग्युलरली, कारण सकाळी सकाळी टेकडीवर गेल्यामुळे मला खूप फ्रेश वाटायचं. सकाळचा तो ऑक्सिजन आणि हिरवेगार सगळी झाडी आणि हे अवतीभोवती एक फ्रेश वातावरण
यंगस्टर्स आणि ती पण हिरवीगार सगळी.
ते फ्रेश वाटायचं. आणि योगामुळे स्ट्रेचिंग झाल्यामुळे, कारण कुठेतरी आपलं शरीर थोडंसं आखडायला लागतं या स्टेजला, तर ते रिलीज झाले ना तुमचे मसल्स की खूप फ्रेश वाटतं तुम्हाला. ब्लड सर्क्युलेशन परत खूप छान सुरू होतो आपला. म्युझिक रिअली हेल्प्स यू मेंटेन युअर मूड व्हेरी वेल. आणि ब्रीदिंग साठी प्राणायाम, अनुलोम विलोम किंवा ते भ्रामरी वगैरे हे जे प्रकार असतात ना, इवन अ लिटल बिट ऑफ मेडिटेशन in terms of shavasana kiva any kind of meditation that you are comfortable with. It could be even as simple as body scanning. All this kind of a thing really helps you a lot, makes you feel really fresh and full of life.
Yeah, so there is one important question about somebody having mitral stenosis.
Yes.
Dhanashri, mitral stenosis is a condition of the heart wherein the mitral valve diameter is decreased, and you do have cardiac issues for the same. So to tell you the truth, you already are at risk of a cardiovascular disease, and as you approach menopause, the risk of a cardiovascular problem can further increase. So you need to consult your cardiologist, okay? And make sure that your cardiologist guides you properly regarding the care of the mitral valve stenosis. But I don't think that just because you've approached menopause, you will be at a very greater risk of having some heart problem. But yes, it can worsen to some extent after you reach menopause. So I'm sure your cardiologist will guide you, especially regarding your cholesterol levels, whether you're on antiplatelets, whether you're on anticoagulant medications. All this will probably, if you were going every year to your doctor, now you'll have to probably go every 6 months to your doctor, because yes, you need to take a little extra care of your heart now, because once you reach menopause, the risk of some cardiac event will be the same in a woman as it is in a man. What we need to realize is the hormone estrogen looks after your heart very beautifully. So before menopause, it is very unheard of that a woman gets a heart attack, okay? But a 30-year-old man can definitely get a heart attack, okay? But once we reach menopause, as we said, we are no longer women, okay? So our risk of getting a heart attack is the same as that of a man. And especially if we have a pre-existing cardiac condition, then we need to take a little extra care regarding the same. So Dhanashri, I hope that answers your question.
Vinita has asked 2-3 times, heaviness in the chest, is this also one of the symptoms of menopause?
Yes. Heaviness in the chest is definitely a very common symptom. You can feel a strange kind of pain on touch. The breast might start feeling a little lumpy also. For this, I think that Surya Namaskar is probably one of the best exercises that you can do. Why is this breast pain? As we said, because the fat component increases. Secondly, because they start sagging. And thirdly, because of hormonal changes, there are some changes in the breast also which can occur. So please don't label the heaviness in the chest, in the breast as just menopausal. Make sure that you do a self-breast examination every month, especially if you have a family history of breast cancer. then you not only need to do a self breast examination, but a clinical breast examination. That means your doctor has to check you every year, once every year. If your doctor feels the need, he or she will advise that you undergo a sonography or a mammography depending on your age and the condition of your breasts. So any breast changes after menopause or in the perimenopause have to be addressed, because breast cancer is extremely common in our country, and unfortunately the mortality because of breast cancer is higher in India as compared to the developed world because of late diagnosis. Maybe the incidence of CA breast may be the same in the US and in India, but in the US probably it gets diagnosed earlier as compared to our country, because our women are shy or are not comfortable with their own breast. So women, please become comfortable with your own breast. Touch your breast, feel your breasts, see how they feel, press your breasts, see if there is any blood or any discharge coming out, okay? And you will be the first person to understand if there is a lump or any change in your breast, and go and get your breast checked. Once again, the concept of well woman clinic comes up, wherein your doctor will check your breast for you every year if you feel that you are unable to really understand it very clearly. So heaviness of the breast, do not just push it aside as a normal menopausal change. Make sure that your doctor has checked it once and told you that all is well, and then it's okay probably. Surya Namaskar, low fat diet will definitely help you to decrease that heaviness in your breast also, and change the size of your bra. That is also very important. Just as when you come of age, you need to buy a bra with different, maybe every 2-3 years. Same is true at menopause also, because your breast size also keep changing. You have to have a well-fitting bra at menopause also.
Ma'am, yes, last couple of questions. Somebody has asked, do fibroids lead to any complications during menopause?
Yeah, so now the point is, somebody had also asked, do fibroids develop in menopause? So they cannot develop in menopause essentially because fibroids are estrogen dependent tumors. When you reach menopause, you have no estrogen in your body. So you cannot have a fibroid developing after 48 or 49. No, that is not possible. You will probably have pre-existing fibroids. Now, if there are women who have a fibroid, which has been diagnosed at the age of 42 or 43, which is say 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, but she has no bleeding problems, she has no pain, she has no other, then we as doctors do not do anything to that fibroid, because 99.9% of the time, those fibroids are benign. That means they are not cancerous, okay? But however, as the time advances, if the fibroid grows in size, or if the woman starts getting bleeding problems, we sometimes advise the woman to undergo a hysterectomy if the fibroids are troubling her too much. But if they do not trouble her till the age of menopause, and she reaches menopause without a problem, those fibroids are slowly going to start shrinking in size. So ideally speaking, the fibroid may not necessarily cause any gross problem during or post menopause. But yes, because of the hormonal disturbance, she can have bleeding problems, which will probably increase because of the presence of a fibroid. And so she has additional bleeding problems in the perimenopausal time span. So yes, if you ask me theoretically, yes, having a fibroid can cause excess bleeding problems in the perimenopausal time span. But post-menopause, if it is a small fibroid, we might just ask for a yearly sonography. The fibroid usually starts shrinking in size, or even if it doesn't increase at all, we are fine with it. Sometimes though, if we see that in the post-menopausal period, the fibroid has grown in size, it's an ominous sign, it is a bad sign, it can indicate a cancerous change in that fibroid, and then 100% she has to undergo a hysterectomy.
Okay, ma'am, last question. Ma'am, do I need to take calcium during menopause?
Yes, I think you do need to take calcium during menopause, because we just touched upon the topic of osteoporosis. As we reach menopause, our estrogen hormone has been responsible for getting the calcium into our bones, and now we do not have the estrogen. So what we need to do is that we need to take calcium supplement. But I keep telling everybody that just taking calcium is not going to be useful unless you combine it with active weight bearing exercise. Which Dr. Aruna Kulkarni madam just said that you have to do yoga. What do we do in yoga? We balance our body weight on our toes. We balance our body on our hands. Okay. We stand on one leg. Okay. Or, so whenever you have weight bearing exercise, or you can go to the gym and lift weights also. So unless you do all these things, the calcium that you eat is not going to reach your bones. It just might form stones in your kidney, or it gets washed out through your urine. So When you take calcium, make sure that you exercise along with it. Only then is it going to be of any use to any of us. You take your multivitamins because आपला आहार कमी झालेला असतो, आपला food intake कमी झालेला असतो, आपण एवढं खाऊ नाही शकत. So you need a multivitamin. You might need vitamin E for your skin and hair. You will need calcium for your bones. Okay. Some people might need antioxidants because antioxidants can also help to decrease all this pigmentation. Keep you fresh, keep you happier. So supplements is a definite yes. Okay. And if you have bleeding problems, you might have to take iron along with it. So supplements, yes, are a must, I think. It doesn't mean you have to take it every day. You can take one supplement, say a vitamin E on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you take a calcium. Sometimes you take some other multivitamin or something like that. So these are very, a little mix and match of these supplements is not a problem at all. You can take some protein also if you feel that you're low on proteins. That will also improve. I started eating an egg every day and I feel so good because of that. So that is one change that I got in myself post-menopause and I'm liking it very much. And I stopped eating pori and bhat quite considerably and I eat only bhakri. My cholesterol was probably 225 or 230. It came down to 190. So I'm so happy about that. So I think we have to have dietary changes undoubtedly.
Yes, ma'am, there's one question. Can cervical spondylitis symptoms increase in this stage?
Yes.
Any exercises, please suggest.
As we talked about the musculoskeletal problems, आपण जे म्हटलो म्हणजे मसलचे and bones problems वाढतात. So all these things come up. You might get, slip disc. Your doctor will say you have slip disc. Your doctor will say you have plantar fasciitis. Your doctor will say you have cervical spondylitis. All these things come during this perimenopause. The only thing that you have to do is diet, exercise, positive mindset, meditation, exercise, meet the orthopedician, use the collar if needed, take whatever measures, B12 levels, vitamin D levels, very important. B12 levels, very important. So, keep doing your blood tests off and on. That is very important. And, with use of collar for some time and maybe good neck exercises or probably the orthopedician will suggest more exercises. But yes, all these things do increase, but don't get bogged down. And sometimes you will feel की मी तर काहीच फरक करत नव्हते नुसतं एक काहीतरी हे उचलायला गेले आणि मला खांदा आखडला किंवा माझी मान आखडली. All these things do increase. Okay. So you have to be careful also. जर का तिथे पाणी सांडलेलं दिसतंय and you feel that you can slip and fall, don't go over there. Because if you fall, you're going to get a fracture if you're postmenopausal. So, you have to start taking care of yourself. भले कोणाला वाटतं की you're not doing something or not helping them out. But if you feel that dabba is too heavy for you to carry, पाठीत उसण भरल्यापेक्षा, rather than trying to lift a heavy teapot or a heavy bed and getting a sprain in your back, avoid it. Call 2 people and get it done. Don't do things which are out of your reach and out of your, limit kind of. You have to start take 1 foot back. That is what I would surely say.
Ma'am, last question. How to deal with increased heart rate?
Okay. Yes. Okay. This is another vasomotor symptom actually. It is a very good question. That is called as palpitations. Okay. So palpitations do come up during perimenopause and menopause. What are the reasons for this palpitation? One is mainly anxiety. Okay. As Dr. Kulkarni madam said that, you get very disturbed and distressed. पूर्वी 25 लोकांचा स्वयंपाक आरामात करायचो, आज 2 लोक जेवायला येणार तरी आपल्याला भीती वाटायला लागते, परत धडधडायला लागतं. That is one thing. Second thing that happens is that our sphincters, म्हणजे the sphincter, that is the valve between our esophagus and our stomach, becomes weak. So acidity and reflux starts. Okay. And so although you've not eaten really very spicy, you start getting a reflux disease. That again causes palpitations. Okay. And the third thing that can cause palpitations mainly is thyroid problems, which can also come up during the perimenopause and menopause. So what you need to do is firstly is identify what could be the cause for this thing. If you have acidity, make sure that you go to your doctor and get a scopy done, control the acidity and things like that. Again, exercise, abdominals, okay, crunches of the upper abdomen can strengthen that sphincter. Barka. So please exercise. There is no way out of exercise at all. So you can control your acidity. Make sure you do not eat oily, spicy. आता पूर्वी सारखे वडापाव आपण नाही खाऊ शकत. आता पूर्वी सारखी तिखट जहाल मिसळ आपण नाही खाऊ शकत. So please avoid all these foods. Thirdly, very hot tea, very hot coffee. If you like beverages, just have 1 cup or half a cup twice a day, and don't have it as piping hot as you usually used to have it. All these things can help you to decrease your palpitations. And if these things don't help, then you can go to a physician. There are some simple medication like beta blockers, they are called, and they can help your heart rate to come down. But again, it is usually only a passing phase. And once you cross that menopause time span, then it all usually subsides considerably. But try to find the reason and treat it accordingly.
Thank you so much.
Before we wind up for the day, there's a very, very important announcement that I would like to make on the occasion of the Women's Day. So then next week, starting from Monday to Friday, that is 8th to the 13th, Saturday, sorry, 8th to the 13th, we are offering a 25% discount on consultation at My Mind Matters. So any of you, if you feel the need to come and talk to us about any challenges that you're facing, ladies, because it's a Women's Week for all of us, we are offering a 25% discount for all the women who need consultation from us.
Great. And we would just like yourself are between the age group of 9 and 55, please make sure that you prevent yourself from this dreaded disease. We are all running behind coronavirus vaccine, but let us look at, we have a vaccine against cervical cancer. So please ask doctor in detail about all these things. Doctor, it's always a pleasure program. I cannot come myself to speak, but the first thing on my list is always that I need psychological counseling myself very often, because we have to deal with stressful conditions in the hospital, maybe sometimes at home also. And even if I don't reach you through these sessions, I can interact with you, and I feel so nice.
Thank you so much. And this is one challenge we've always been facing, that people are more willing, if they have even a small hurt, they are willing to run to the doctor. But psychological problems, people are still not comfortable talking about. So through this program, we would like to appeal to everyone. Please feel free to approach a psychologist. There's nothing wrong in approaching a psychologist for help. And please do take timely help and prevent other complications from developing. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with us. And thank you so much, Dr. Bape. You've always been such a support to us, and we really love your sessions. Thank you so much.
Just a small request to all the participants. I'll be forwarding you all a link for feedback, just to make our sessions even better. So kindly fill those up for us, and we are looking forward to conduct more sessions for you.
Also,
thank you so much,
you
everyone.
All, as a thank you note, just turn on your camera so that we can click a picture quickly. That will be really nice if we could just take a picture. Can you please turn on your camera on? Wow. This is the strength of women. This feels so lovely. Shreya, are you clicking the picture?
Yes, ma'am. Just give me a second.
Yes. I remember all these names because they were calling up and registering. So
right.
Lots of these names seem very familiar to us.
That's so good.
Just give me 1 second. I'll just save the...
And we are planning to repeat these sessions. So in case you know of more people who would benefit from attending these sessions, please do let us know. We will repeat this after 3-4 months again, this entire program. And please do spend a little bit of time giving us a feedback. Nodal ma'am, you will need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, can I just talk for a moment?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think this session has been recorded by someone.
I am recording it. Yes.
Yeah. Many thanks for that. And if you could, the way you mailed us the Zoom link, if you could mail this, it would be better. Or even if you want it on WhatsApp, you can ask for the WhatsApp number. Because then if you want, we keep on going through this all the time now. Because we are going to tend to forget whatever Charulata ma'am has said. It is but natural. So we can just go through it all the time when we require as a guideline for us. So if you could share this recording, it would be highly obliged.
One thing we could do is we could upload it onto the YouTube channel of My Mind Matters, because the file size is very large.
Oh,
okay. Possibly send it across like that.
Yeah.
So we'll
Sure,
upload
yeah,
it on the
even
YouTube
that could be
channel.
done. Yeah, but that would be better for us, like.
Sure.
We can
Yeah,
watch the
yeah.
YouTube
Thank
channel.
you, Charlotte ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for being
bye.
with-
Yeah,
And thank you for
bye
your
all.
question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
अजून नाही संपला चालू आहे आवाज नाही येत आहे